tracing the space in terms of improvisational movement is really just about how you interpret the space you're in through the movement and how your movement reflects that space. And it's different every single time or with every single person, but it's how the body interprets the features in the space and the space you're in.
We'd follow the shape of something such as a leg, and that pathway dictates the way our movement flows. Feeling the shape of the flow helps get rid of the sensations of connecting to anything outside, like any other thing that would connect our focus, whether that be somebody else in the space or a noise that inspires us. We'd rather just focus on that particular instruction to help that movement flow.
I think looking at the space you're in and seeing what shapes there are is a good place to find new movement material, because there are a lot of shapes that you just don't pay attention to in everyday life when you look around a room. And once you start seeing those and start engaging with those through your body, you'll actually find a lot of movement that you wouldn't have done otherwise.
I do feel like improvisational movement does create a truer form of movement, as it's pure instinct. There's no practice, there's no choreography, there's nothing there to work with. It's all just instinct, it's reaction, and it's dependent on the space you're in, the way the body's feeling, the way the mind's feeling. So it does make you more in touch with the space you're in, as you have to find something to stimulate your movement.
With improv, there's no technique, no shapes. It's just you and the movement. So this inspires me to just create something that's not necessarily aesthetically pleasing, which is quite hard in the dance industry because we're used to everything having to look a certain way and fit a certain bracket. Whereas with improv, you're free to just be you, free to move the way you want. It's more of an exploration rather than a finished product.
I think improv is a really nice way to connect with whatever your body is feeling at that time and doing what is needed for you, rather than constantly focusing on what does it look like, or can I make this for someone else, or if you're making something collaboratively with someone, then it's not going to be as inwardly focused and as focused on what you need as a dancer, as a mover. So it can definitely be a great way to connect to a sort of, I guess, purer way of tracing the space. Keep a flow going.
Almost freeing.
You're not thinking about technique, structure, how it looks from an outside point of view.
It was a very new way of embodying shapes.
Looking into the space and listening to...
There was no limits to it.
And it almost felt like I was in a kind of trance.
That is the true nature of how your body wants to move.
I am more at one with the space. Keep a rhythm going.
My attention to the space.
As the motion of tracing kind of created a unique way of moving and a unique body of movement.
Tracing improv. I was so focused into it.
Into the space.
There's nothing else going on in your mind.
Move more fluid and be more part of the space.
No choreography, there's no pre-planned movement.
Able to connect to the movement.
Giving so much of my focus and so much of my attention into this one task.
Taking my surroundings to find ideas of what to do next.
It is easier to feel more in touch with the space when improvising.
Being one with the space.
It's just a different version.
I could get deeper and deeper into it.
You being you in that moment.
It does make the body more in touch with the space.
You are very conscious of either people watching or your surroundings.
Nothing's already rehearsed in your body.
You have more awareness.
Something that I like to pay more attention to sometimes.
You're just dancing.
Keep a rhythm going.
There's nothing else going on in your mind. It's my focus and so much of my attention. I've got to connect to the movement. That is the true nature of how your body moves, of how your focus is so much of my time and it's so growing at my attention. My focus going on in your mind. There's nothing else. It's the motion of tracing. That is the true nature of how your body moves, of how your focus is so much of my time and it's so growing at my attention. Going on in your mind. There's nothing else. It's the motion of tracing. It's kind of creating a unique way of moving and a unique body movement.
You're just dancing.
I completely lost
To feel more in touch with the space. It is easy, regardless of what it is, to move in the space.
More and more of the space.
Stimulate ideas.
Connection.
React to the things around it.
Move down.
Taking my surroundings.
Surroundings in the body.
The space.
Knowing.
There's no.
Really focused on.
Connecting.
Focus.
Finding a connection.
Reflects the space.
Being one with the space.
Being one with the space.
One's existence.
I'm paying a lot of attention to the space.
Movement.
Sharp.
That space.
Into the space.
Affects your movement.
As I'm looking.
Being one with the space.
Kind of ignored.
Feeling.
Completely forgotten about. The body.
Thoughts
And focusing
to create movement.
in a space.
To the space in your mind.
A new way of moving.
That I like to pay more attention to.
Space.
New ways of moving.
Tactile sense.
Sort of unusual.
A large space.
Move in a way that I wouldn't think to move.
The internal. The small space. A sense of meaning.
Attention to the space.
State of mind.
Find inspiration.
Soft.
outside.